Guys, it's Aika Aikawa. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's like Christmas every time you open up one of those Kotobukiya boxes with the tissue all wrapped around it all nice. And this here we have another Kotobukiya Alice Gear Aegis collaboration here. This is number A3 in the line. It's Aika Aikawa. It's a pretty cool one, really interesting design. I remember seeing this, the prototype for this, and thinking that looks pretty awesome. Can't wait to build that. And now the day has finally come when I finally get to build it, so I'm really looking forward to this. Let's go ahead and take a look around the box. As we know with these kits, there's a lot of really cool stuff to see around the box. The box art itself is looking very nice. So as always, guys, if you want to check out all the Kotobukiya Megami Device and Frame Arms Girl, Frame Arms, anything Kotobukiya, anything Bandai, you can check the link down below to USA Gundam Store where we got all that. And you can save 10% off everything using my coupon code ZakuAurelius10. So the link and the coupon code are down in the video description. Let's go ahead and check out the box here, shall we? So as usual with the box art here, we've got a flat matte white finish there for the background, and then the actual picture and text and everything is in this gloss finish. It's not as easy to tell as with the black boxes, which are really nice. With this white box, it does still look pretty cool. So you have this nice illustration here. In this case, actually not illustrated by Nidhi2D, but Humikane Shimada. But a beautiful illustration here nonetheless. Let's check out the little blurb down here in the middle. Characters from the 3D action shooting game Alice Gear Aegis are joining the Megami Device line. Aika is the first healer Megami. She has the ability to strengthen others during battle, creating a much deeper connection with her teammates. Despite her cute looks, she can damage enemies with just one swing of her large hammer, which would be that weapon, which we can't really see well on the front of the box here. So let's just go ahead and take it around onto this side of the box where we still can't really see much of that. So let's go ahead and go to the bottom of the box where we got a bunch more action shots and poses here. So you can see she's going to have these kind of drone kind of remote things that fly around near her, I guess, which we did see on the front of the box. And those are going to be held up by this clear blue part there. Looks like she does have a ranged weapon, this sort of big size pistol sort of looking gun. Here's how she's going to look with much less of the armor and stuff on her like that. And then there's that big massive hammer, which also sort of looks like a sort of mecha broom. Sort of, you get what I mean, like she's a witch riding on this big mecha broom, but it's also a hammer. And then she has this thing, which is definitely much more of a drone sort of looking thing, I guess. I guess it does actually say that it is a drone here, some sort of camera drone or something, I guess. And then these parts, which I'm not sure, those are not parts of the hammer, but I guess these are other parts that are included that also wrap around her waist there. Are those parts, I guess, like attached onto kind of like the side of her legs there, I guess, which can... No, those aren't those parts either. So anyway, you got these parts which are gonna like make a electro hula hoop sort of looking thing there. Anyway, those look pretty interesting. And here's how the kit is gonna look, just built straight up out of the box without any extra painting or panel lining or anything done on that. And it's definitely gonna be looking, I mean, all that white's gonna be looking a lot more plain. Then once it's all actually painted up, it's gonna look much nicer. But over here on the other side of the box, we gotta look at our face options for this kit. We're gonna have smiling with mouth open, kind of a happy face there, and then a little bit sad face over here as well. And then we'll have eye decals here. It looks like we have some kind of, I guess those are supposed to be like rosy cheek decals and a couple of little marking decals, but overall, pretty small decal sheet here for this. The list price for this kit going for 7,400 yen, so definitely a higher price tag for this one. As you can see, it's in a good sized box, but it's definitely not as big as some of the other boxes we've seen online, which are a little bit larger. Still though, plenty of stuff in here. Let's just see here. We've got maybe 14 bags of runners, I guess. I think I maybe might have lost count. Plus our bags of some pre-painted parts and faces, which we'll take a look at here in a moment, and our instruction manual, which is also in a bag. Sometimes they do this in a bag, usually not, but it's kind of always feels weird when they do. I don't know why they put this in a bag, it seems kind of silly. But let's go ahead and take a look at our manual here. Just got that box art same as on the front of the box. We actually have the full version of that, so you can actually see more of the hammer and her feet there on the back. The Collabo Megami Device Alice Gear Aegis logos there. Opening it up to the inside, we've got just a bunch of poses and some illustration artwork there. These are great for just some posing ideas. There you can see her swinging the hammer there, a little bit to sad pose with that hula hoop there, and then also the weapon there, the gun type weapon. We've got our parts list in here, and also an Alice Gear Aegis code. I don't need this for anything, so in case any of you guys all play the game and need that, there you go. So we got our parts list. Like I said, we're going to have a couple of leftover parts, but not a whole lot. And then just goes into the construction, and then it's just going to be all through the construction. You build the main body up, all that, and then you build up all the weapons and extra armor and all that other kind of stuff. You add that all to it. It shows you how to equip everything. It shows you how to equip the effect parts onto the weapon there as well. And then here at the back we've got our color guide for the colors for the kit, as well as just where to place the decals on here, which again is going to be pretty simple. They're basically just there for the eyes. You got a couple here that go on the head and on the back of the legs, and that's going to be about it. But you got some nice big reference photos there for how to paint the kit if you're planning on doing that. So this first up, once again, there's a look at that water slide decal sheet. It looks very nice. Of course, the detail and the quality of the printing looks fantastic. And the same thing goes for our pre-painted faces, as always, from Kotobukiya. They're looking beautiful as well. I got the 3 different face options there. Then 1 or 2 little pre-painted parts over here, skin tone pieces with some white painted on there. And then in our other bag, we've got a couple of white pieces with some pre-painted gray on here for around the clothing section, the skirt there, it looks like. We've got quite a few hand parts here, all in white. And this is actually the N runner, but I'm just gonna go ahead and go through this first. We got closed fists, trigger finger, extended holding hands, open expressive hands, regular holding hands, and then open resting hands. Now all of those are without the wrist joint molded on. Now here we have another set of holding hands with the wrist joint molded together, holding hands with the trigger finger extended, and regular holding hands. And then we've got another set of hands here with a kind of half the wrist joint molded together with the hand, and these are look to be specifically for holding that massive hammer, so I guess these should be helpful in holding up the weight of that thing. And then a couple little tiny runners we'll just take a look at here first. These are both marked runner M apparently, but these are a couple of parts here in black over here, and then in this kind of brownish tannish gray color here. Runner A is going to be all of our hair parts here in this salmony pink kind of color. It looks quite nice. Runner B is going to be all of our skin tone parts for the kit. Really not all that many, so those of you guys who get freaked out by too much skin showing on these kits, you'll be happy to know there's not a whole lot with this one. And we've actually got 2 different C runners, so they're both in white. So you got some parts over here for the body and some parts over here for the body, both on runner C. But as you can see, these are basically parts for the arms and legs, or it kind of looks like mostly legs for the most part, and these will be the parts for from the arms and some of the other parts of the main body. Runner D, then some more parts in white, basically all of our joint parts. And runner E as well is basically just going to be some wrist joints here, also in white. Runner F is going to be our classic Megami Device clear stand. In this case, it's clear blue, looking very cool with that two-tone look with the glossy logo there and this frosty matte finish there for the rest of the base. These are quite nice. And then runner G is some more parts in that tannish gray color. Runner H is some parts here in black. We've got 2 of this H runner. Runner I is a big runner of a whole bunch of white parts on here. Same thing for runner J, just a whole bunch of white parts. It looks like a lot of parts that are going to be very specific to this particular kit. And the same thing here for runner K as well, a bunch more white parts for this kit. And some more white parts here on the L runner as well. And we've got 2 of this L runner. Runner M here is in black for some more parts for the weapons and accessories and stuff. And then runner N is some connection parts in clear blue, which are going to be used for our kind of backpack, sort of, as it were. Runner O is a couple of parts in a kind of smoky clear for the drones. Runner P is a set of clear blue effect parts. These are commonly used amongst some different Megami Device kits. Runner Q is some more connection pieces in clear blue. And runner R is some pieces here in a very nice molded gold. We've got 2 of this R runner. Runner S is this really nice clear yellow effect ring there for her hula hoop. And runner T is a few more pieces here in white. Runner U as well, a few more connection pieces here in white. Runner V, some more familiar Megami Device effect parts here in a kind of clear yellowish orange. Runner W is a few more pieces here in white. And runner Z, also in white, the very familiar runner of more joint pieces for the wrists and also the hip joint piece there as well. So there, as you guys can see, this kit, while it comes at a hefty price, does come with a lot of stuff in the box, and it does come with like a lot of options as well too. It's one thing that's great about the Megami Device kits, and one slight advantage I think that they have over the Frame Arms Girl kits, whereas the Frame Arms Girl kits kind of have a very specific set of weapons that go with them. The Megami Device kits are a lot more kind of open to creativity, I want to say, in that they have a lot of different parts that you can kind of use in a lot of different ways to kind of make it your own. So it seems to be the case with this one as well, so I'm looking forward to getting this all put together. Let me do that and then we'll see how she looks. Alright guys, here she is all put together, looking very nice. As always with these Megami Device kits, once you got them all put together, they look fantastic. Even just straight out of the box, I mean, obviously it's missing a lot of the little colors and little panel lining on some of the armor pieces and something like that, where you could definitely make that stuff look a lot better with just very minimal work. You even don't have to fully paint these kits, just a little bit of panel lining, some top coat on them, and they look fantastic. But even without that, the kit does still look very cool. We got a lot of really cool design work going on there, and just the color separation, everything looks pretty nice. This one does have a lot of white, so especially like around the legs, you have a lot of those white sections that, without the panel lining and all that, is going to just kind of all blend together a little bit. But as always, not only does the kit look great, but it comes with a lot of stuff in the box here as well. So let's go ahead and start making our way through all the different stuff that this kit comes with. Alright, so first off, here is her kind of machine gun weapon, I suppose is sort of what this is, I guess, based on this drum that it's got down there. It's also got this like missile launcher here on the front, which you have an optional piece for. You can swap that out for this piece that has a hard point in the front of it. So you swap that like so, and then you can take one of your effect parts here, which is actually made up of a couple of effect parts all put together. You can plug that into that section down there and make that look like it's firing out of that little launcher down on the bottom side of that. Our other effect parts, these blue ones here, you can use for a lot of stuff, but according to the manual, you're meant to use these little extension pieces here as well, which will go onto there like that, and then these are meant to be plugged up into the underside of back here. Oops, sorry, those are the wrong extension pieces. These are the extension pieces you can use for if you're just plugging this into like your standard 3mm plug. You have these different extension pieces which are very specifically shaped for plugging into the back of the leg here like this. They're like that to make it look like she's flying, so that's pretty cool. You got those that you can plug into the little gap there, or a little hole there on the back of her leg. Then we got the drone, which is pretty cool, underneath the clear black piece there on the front. There is some nice detail, but it's very hard to see up in there. The little kind of, not wings, but I don't know, what would you call them? Rotors here on the side will fold out. I don't know, I guess whatever it uses to fly. They're like that, so those fold out. The little kind of bit here on the back, which I guess is supposed to be some sort of like antenna or something like that, you can move that up and down. Now there's a hard point on the back of this for plugging this onto a stand. There's also an alternate part here for the front, which has this male hard point going down off the bottom of that to plug this onto a base or something like that if you wanted to, so you have your option of which part you want to use for the front of that. And then we have her main weapon, which is this massive like hammer type weapon here, which is definitely pretty heavy at the end of that, so I think we might have some trouble holding this, but it does look very cool. It seems like it like should do something, but it actually doesn't. It doesn't really do anything. It just looks cool just as it is. You could ride it like a broomstick or something like that. I think I've seen custom build already of some people doing like that, but it does look very cool, and the color separation on that is really nice. Then we do have a couple of specific hands for holding onto this weapon that hopefully should make it a little bit more stable. We'll try that out here shortly. Then we've also got her magical hula hoop, and these parts will all extend out like this around this clear part, and it does look very cool. I gotta say, it's a really interesting sort of weapon accessory for this. And we have a connection piece for this, which will plug onto there, and that will allow us to plug this onto the back of her here, around on the back like that. So that'll be floating around her like that, which is pretty cool. I gotta say, that's a really interesting look. You can angle that up or down however you might want to, so that's pretty awesome. Then of course we have these up here, I shouldn't forget to mention, which are on this arm. You can move these around. The articulation on this clear blue arm for these is pretty cool. Again, don't really know exactly what these are supposed to be, but some sort of like flying little weapons, I guess, that float along there with her or something like that. So those are really cool. They don't really do anything. They're just on these bits here. You could take them off and plug them onto separate stands on their own or something like that if you didn't want to have them up attached onto her back. We also have these little alternate pieces for the sides of the legs. So this part here, I guess like when it's active or something, this is supposed to extend out, and so rather than extending, we just swap this piece like that, so it looks like it's a little bit more sticking out than like that, so that looks, again, pretty cool little thing that you can do with that. And of course we have her alternate arms, legs, and hair parts for her unarmored version, so I'll do that a little bit later. I'll take off the armor and show you guys how she'll look without all that extra mechanical stuff on there, just with these parts. But one thing that's really cool about the feet too is that they actually have a separate piece for the bottom of the feet, so they actually kind of look like shoes or something like that, with the sole of it being a separate color. So that's pretty nice rather than just being all white. And then naturally we have our optional parts here for the arms. If you want to put this piece up here on the arm, give you an additional hard point there on the side of the arm or on the side of the leg, you have pieces for that. And then we have different option parts for the neck as well too. If you wanted to put a frame arms girl head on this, the ball joint is slightly different, so you have a different one for that. And you also have a ball joint here for if people wanted to put this head onto a Figma. You can use this piece here for doing that. And for a quick size comparison, here she's compared to a couple of different Bandai kits. The Figurized Standard Fumina, which we previously took a look at, and the standard RX-78 to HD-144 scale size Gundam kit there. So you can see, gonna be pretty standard Megami Device size, but actually she seems a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. I think she's meant to be a little bit kind of smaller character than some of the other characters in the Megami Device Alice Gear Aegis line. Alright, so there she is. I'll go through some different poses here, showing off some of the different accessories and stuff, and that will give you guys a sense of the articulation of this. I won't go through all the articulation point by point, because if you've seen any of my Megami Device reviews, basically all the articulation on this is going to be the same as what you would expect from any typical Megami Device kit. They are very nicely articulated and pretty easy to pose in almost any pose that you would want it to pose in, so really good articulation on these. This one does also feel quite solid, which is good too, just reassuring for those of you guys who may have been worried about if it has any loose parts or anything like that. Now, as for holding up the massive hammer weapon, basically, with the wrists and the arms seem totally solid enough to hold that up, which is great. The only problem is actually the base. The base is not strong enough to hold that up, and so I actually switched to just the regular Bandai base because the arm would be a little bit more solid. The problem is still that it's going to rotate, it's going to weigh it down to the side, and so doing different poses holding onto that massive hammer weapon is going to be a little bit tricky just because of the base. You'll probably have to customize something, glue something, or make some sort of adjustment to your base in order to be able to support that, but the actual kit itself holds it up fine. So I don't know, it's a really cool design. I really like this design with a lot of really interesting aspects, the weapons and stuff that it comes with. The effect parts are nice that it comes with those as well too. A lot of really great stuff in this box as usual, so love these Megami Device kits. They're always a lot of fun to check out. As far as I understand it, the release of this kit was pretty limited, so hopefully you guys got your pre-orders in straight away as soon as that came up, because otherwise I think it's probably going to be pretty hard to get. And as always, thank you guys so much for your support too, whether it's liking the video, commenting, or subscribing. All that is also very helpful and appreciated all as well too. If you have any other further questions about this, do feel free to ask down in the comment section below as well too. And as always guys, I hope you're having a great day. I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.